And good evening, one and all, and welcome back to the Blue Rose Respite for the finale of Resident Evil Village. Thank you all so much for joining me this evening for the thrilling conclusion of this dark and twisted fairy tale. Now, as I announced earlier today, this stream will be a lot shorter than my usual ones, just because we don't have much left of the game at all. And after it's over, I want to have a little bit of a chat about my feelings on the game, and we'll look at some behind the scenes stuff. But just a heads up, guys, tonight's stream is going to be a lot shorter than usual, but I hope all of you are as excited as I am to see the conclusion of this absolutely incredible game. And thank you all so very much for joining me this evening. A big thank you to Kimikun for your 31-month resub. Thank you so much for your amazing continued support. And Hayden, thank you so much for your incredible 20-month resubscription, a tier 3 subscription. Thank you so much for your absolutely incredible generosity. Thank you. Seriously. You're amazing. But I hope all of you are settled in and are just as ready as I am to see the conclusion of this amazing, amazing story. So, at the end of last stream, there were a number of huge revelations. Primarily that Mia is still alive, and that Mother Miranda was in fact masquerading as Mia moments before Chris Redfield arrived on the scene to intercept things. And Ethan had a curious revelation himself. Well, first of all, he died, but then he just kept coming back, almost like a little moldy cockroach, as it were. But we had a brief vision featuring Evelyn from the previous game. But we will see where this story reaches its end as we face off against Mother Miranda. Just 1 second. Just need to adjust the brightness quickly. There we go. And Iron Horse Heisenberg, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I am delighted that you could be with us at the end of all things.
I gotta go.
Wish me luck, everyone. Oh, yes, indeed, Dragon King. That was another very good point. Miranda had been a force at work for a very long time. Essentially, being almost the origin of the entire franchise, as it were. And certainly one of the main sources of inspiration behind the creation of Umbrella. Murphy, how is it going? Welcome to the Blue Rose Respite. I'm delighted you could join us.
I gotta keep going.
Little Ava, my beautiful daughter. Come to me. Ava, is that you? Oh, how I've missed you. What? My power is leaving me.
Rose! Miranda!
Interesting. Your body certainly isn't normal.
Give Rose to me. Now!
You will see. Once I kill you properly, everything...
Get her now!
Good.
Let go!
No.
I've spent a lifetime creating this moment. And you try to take it away from me. I will take what is due. My desires will be fulfilled! Rose is mine!
What the fuck?
Oh, I'm going to enjoy this.
Mr. Winters. You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious Megameister. Now, please do not worry for little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with treatments. So now you can die.
I'm not letting you get away.
Come on.
Please, Mr. Winters. Stop struggling. Come. Just.
Come on. And I think this is the time where I bring out the big guns, isn't it?
Don't resist. Here I come.
You know what? Mother Miranda, you have been a thorn in my side for far too long.
I'll take wonderful care of little Rose.
You took
There's nothing.
advantage of these lords. You took advantage of Lady Dimitrisk. You took advantage of the affections of Moreau. You took advantage of the incapabilities of Donna. And you stole Lord Heisenberg's future. I will enjoy this.
You understand the love of a parent or child. How can you deny me?
Why the hell can't you realize Rose is my goddamn kid, not yours?
Cease this foolishness. This is... You won't interfere. I've never seen a human live without his heart. Are you sure? Your time is up! Now die! Truly a wonderful thing.
Okay. Damn it. It might take me a few tries to get her. But we will be victorious no matter what.
Little Ava, my beautiful daughter.
I will just skip them, just because we already had that amazingly impactful cutscene, just to make it a
You
little bit easier.
fulfilled your purpose, Mr. Winters.
Daniel, thank you so much for the
You
host.
disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious Megameister. Now, please do not worry for little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with true happiness. So now you can die peacefully.
Not letting us get away.
You understand the level of character, child.
Hang on.
How can you deny me?
Why the hell can't you realize Rose is my goddamn kid, not yours?
The Megamycete saved me from the pits of despair. It granted me this splendid power.
Yeah, right. All it's done is drive you nuts.
After all, everyone dies. You can't see those.
Where is she? Come on, come on.
Die and be swallowed into the Megamycete for all time! Now, Mr. Winters, I think it's time you left things in my house. Oh, rest now.
The hell I will.
I will take back my daughter! If I combine Rose with a Megamycete, my daughter will be made manifest at last! I've waited a century, all for this day.
Come on, come on, come on.
Why do you persist in this race? Your time is up! Now die!
I think not.
Why do you
You.
Surely you have no leaders now, so close to death.
She's my goddamn daughter, you psycho.
And we do not answer to false seraphs here.
Curse this ramshackle bitch. I can take any form I desire. Evil. Those foreigners, they could do nothing to assuage my years of loneliness.
Ever think the problem might be you, Miranda? You're not capable of real love.
How lucky you are to die before your child.
Okay, give me a second. I might have to buy one more health potion for that. Just because I only had the one in my inventory. And I have the lay to spare. There we go. And Deadpool, thank you so much for the 15-month resub. Your support is absolutely incredible. Thank you so, so much.
Ah, little Ava, my beautiful daughter.
You fulfilled your purpose, Mr. Winters.
1 second.
You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious Megamycete. Now, please do not worry for little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with true happiness. So now you can die peacefully. You understand the level of
Not
character,
letting
child.
you get away.
How can you deny me?
Why the hell can't you realize Rose is my goddamn kid, not yours?
The Megamycete saved me from the pits of despair. It granted me this splendid power.
Yeah, right. All it's done is drive you nuts.
Will this kill you?
Where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Come on. Come on, come on.
After all, everyone dies.
Where is she? Come on.
Die and be swallowed into the Megamycete for all time! Now, Mr. Winters, I think it's time you left things in my hands. Oh, yes.
The hell I will.
If I combine Rose with a Megamycete, my daughter will be made manifest at last! I've waited a century, all for this day.
Why is it not letting me equip those? Never mind.
Cease this foolishness. Why do you interfere? Surely you have no need of Rose now, so close to death.
She's my goddamn daughter. You psycho.
Curse this ramshackle village. Rose. Don't resist. You won't interfere.
Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on.
I've never seen a human live without his heart. Are you sure you're not?
That's the thing, guys. I'm pressing F, but it won't let me switch out to the other ammo. I think it might be a bug. Which is very, very annoying.
They could do nothing to assuage my years of loneliness.
Ever think the problem might be you, Miranda? You're not capable of real love.
Come on, come on.
Your life is over, Mr. Winters. Why do you still fight?
Come on. Come on, come on, come on.
I shall put you to rest. My wish will come.
Come on. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on.
You won't interfere. You still stuck. Here I come. This is how you end, Ethan Winters. To ensure I never see your
Come on. Come on, Miranda. Even seraphs have to fall. And there we go. The end of the false seraph. Oh, Rose.
Rose! Shh. Shh. It's all right, Rose. It's all right.
Oh. Ethan? No, 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 no.
Ethan! Ethan! Come on, Ethan. Come on, Ethan, wake
no,
up.
no. You've been through so much.
Chris,
Ethan, you did it. It's finished.
I think we've finished each other.
Ethan, we gotta move.
Oh. Ethan, come on. Come on, you can do this. You have to be there for
There's a bomb in
Rose.
that thing that'll blow this whole village sky high. Hey, look at me. When I hit this trigger, we can't be anywhere near it. Ah, damn it. Mia's waiting for you. She's alive, you hear me? Alive.
Mia, I'm so sorry.
Oh.
I love you.
No, no.
Rose, safe.
Hey, hey. Hey. And you tell yourself. Now come on, it's not that much further.
Watch over her.
No.
Teach her to be strong.
Ethan.
God damn it.
Goodbye, Rosemary.
No.
Ethan.
No, this can't be how it ends. I do not accept this. I do not fucking accept this. No. No, 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 no.
Rose?
Go. Go, take us up now.
Wait! Where's Ethan?
Get moving. We have to get clear.
No! We can't go, not without my husband!
Mia, sit down and strap in.
Not before you tell me where Ethan is. I know he wouldn't abandon us. Tell me what's going on. Where?
No. Fuck.
Sit down.
Where is he? Chris? What have you done?
He's gone. I tried. He stayed so we could all escape.
No, no, no.
I'm sorry.
Captain, you need to see this. BSAA didn't send soldiers. This is a bioweapon.
What the hell were they thinking?
Orders, Captain.
Pick up the rest of the squad. Plot a course for BSAA Europe HQ.
Ethan, you did not deserve this. Oh, Rose. Fuck! This fucking game, man. God damn it. And that's the end of Resident Evil Village, guys. I'm just going to enjoy these credits and just let the past half hour sink in, because fuck. And yes, I'm not skipping over the credits. I'm absolutely waiting till the end. Now, the fact that the credits is this, is the storybook scene, I thought of something the other day. I'll talk about it afterwards once we get back to the menu and we can just enjoy this moment. But I'm gonna, enjoy that hydrate check and those stretch checks. Thank you, thank you. Oh, I love this game so much. In case it wasn't already obvious, I just adore everything about this game, and I will be playing it many, many more times. Oh. Like, the visuals of this sequence are just chef's kiss, dark fairy tale perfection. Very much Henry Selick, sort of like Coraline vibes, and I'm loving it so much. And yes, Daniel, indeed, these four creatures do represent the four lords. So it was foreshadowed in the story at the beginning.
Gifts we gave, but more you took, she snarled. So more in turn is due. In a blink, the girl was trapped inside a mirror. Her parents, though, had searched all day and at last arrived. With rampant rage, Father fought the witch, while Mother's loving touch shattered the dark enchantment. But the witch was strong, and Father yelled, "Save our daughter!" So Mother bore their child to safety as the forest was consumed. Even now, the burnt forest is a grim reminder of Father's sacrifice. To this day, any child who stares too long into the charred wasteland will be haunted by nightmares of getting lost while picking berries.
But, oh, this game. There was so much hype leading up to this game, and in my opinion, as a connoisseur of horror and good storytelling, I think it paid off beautifully. I loved the pacing. I thought it was very well done. I think there was a good amount of focus given to each of the lords, but I am craving that DLC. I think we all are, not just for more content of Lady Dimitrescu, but all of the lords. I think if they have one DLC to focus on, maybe set 20, 30 years in the past, and you get to see them before maybe their powers are fully realized, and perhaps you see the growings of Mother Miranda's control over the village. Just, oh my god. DLC is in production, that has been confirmed, but there's no announcement yet as to the particulars of it or when it's going to be released. But yes, I adore this game. There's already a number of games on my favorites list, but this is easily now a new favorite to me. I now want to go back and replay this game multiple times. Fuck. But yeah, just, Ethan's sacrifice at the end really fucking got to me. I've had a very emotional week, so, it's still sinking in a little bit. Oh, but thank you for the hydrate check, Arc Author. Thank you, thank you. Oh. Now, I haven't quite been paying as much attention to the story that's being told on this side, but I'm trying to pinpoint the girl. I think this is like the story afterwards. Is that Rose, maybe? And then seeing like Mia pass, and is that supposed to be Chris? Or maybe not, I'm not sure. I need answers, guys. But we shall see. We shall see. Honestly, it is an absolute dream of mine to work with Capcom and maybe one day be featured in one of these absolutely incredible games. Like full mocap, all that good stuff. I dream of one day playing a character who is then part of the lore of Resident Evil, much in the same way that all of the characters and the actors behind them played an incredible role in this. Just... God damn, this game is incredible. Perhaps this is showing the story of Miranda before she became a monster. That's certainly plausible. I could see that. Because yes, Miranda was blonde, so I think this is telling of the origins of Mother Miranda, which is interesting. Salva Holder, no, I will be streaming this Sunday. We'll just see how things go. But just tonight's stream was going to be a little bit shorter than usual. God, I love this game. I love this game so much. But oh, just the visuals. I just cannot get over the visuals. It is everything that I adore. It is dark fairy tale with religious iconography and gothic atmosphere and a rustic European setting, just with body horror and grotesque creatures in all the right ways. Just mwah, chef's kiss. 10 out of 10 would visit again. Oh, Hayden, yes, got a bit of a problem I might be able to help you with. I'll certainly try. God, this game. Yep, this seems to be foretelling the beginning of the lichens. Slowly taking over the village. God, it's so cool. I will give you your due thanks in just a second, Hayden. Holy shit, thank you. Oh.
Do you think the little boy will be able to touch the moon?
Nobody can touch the moon. It's too far away.
Wait, what if he has a rocket ship?
Okay, then he can touch it, but it'd be very, very cold.
You were being silly. I don't think the moon feels like
It
Rose. That's Rose, right? Oh, sweetie. You're so beautiful. Oh.
Hey, Dad. Happy birthday.
Oh.
Sorry I missed last week. I have a lot of tests coming up. You know how it is. Talk of the goddamn devil. Duty calls. I love you.
Yeah, I found her. Where else? Today of all days. We have a situation. You're needed, Evelyn.
Don't you ever call me that again.
Whoa, it's just a joke, Rose.
I can show you things even Chris doesn't know I can do.
We have a clear shot.
Stand down. I can handle it. She's just a kid.
Do not underestimate her.
Way to keep it together, Rose.
You're a lot like him, you know?
I know.
Oh, I like her. I look forward to potentially one day playing a game through her eyes. Who? What's happening? Yeah, I was questioning who that person in the distance was, but the father's story is now done. The tale of Ethan Winters is at a close. So, first and foremost, I have to give a absolutely transcendent thank you to Hayden for those 10,000 bits. It's this damn heavy bag of bits. Can you please carry some? I would be honored to alleviate you of this burden. Hayden, thank you. Thank you so, so much. Sorry. It's just been a really rough week, so I really appreciate it. Thank you. But thank you, Hayden. You're amazing. Thank you so much for your incredible support. But we're not quite at the end of tonight's stream. I want to see if we've unlocked maybe some behind the scenes stuff. Difficulty level of Village of Shadows has been added. A new difficulty level is available. A difficulty can be selected when starting a new game. Okay, it took us about 11.5 hours on standard, and I was taking like the leisurely course, the scenic view as it were. Unlocked content in the bonuses menu. The following has been added to the bonuses menu. Extra content shop, concept art, figures, challenges. That's what I was hoping for. We're going to be looking at some concept art. Oh, guys, thank you for the hugs. Complete challenges listed in the challenges menu in order to receive completion points. CP can be exchanged for a variety of bonuses in the extra content shop. New game models, weapons, concept art, figures, etc. New movies added. Following movies have been added to movies in the bonus menu. Village of Shadows, full version. Creating Village of Shadows, level design, visual development, visual production. I will not be watching those on stream just because I believe they would be copyrighted and I don't want to risk getting my channel taken down. Special weapon. You can now get the following weapon from the extra content shop for finishing the main story, the WCX. Ooh. Very nice. Okay, so it's based on achievements pretty much. But that is a good amount of completion points. Very nice. Overwrite as completed data. When you load the completed data, some things will carry over from your completed game. Okay, yes, save. Saving that as the first one. Yes. Fuck this game. Okay, so we're going to be looking at a bit of concept art and the figures that we've unlocked. Maybe see if I can use some of those completion points to unlock some extra ones. And then we'll essentially be winding things down for the night because that ended on such a emotional conclusion. And I don't want to get too carried away. But let's just have a little chat and we'll look at some character art. I've a feeling that I'll need to unlock this. Extra content shop. Okay. Okay, that's nothing. I can unlock that later, but special weapons, all which are very nice. Wait, you can unlock a lightsaber. Okay, that's pretty great. Infinite ammo. Infinite ammo. Okay, so instead of completing a certain point, you have to complete certain challenges and stuff in order to do that. That is amazing. Do you get a new game plus with all the stuff you had in your inventory? If so, you can get a lot of cash really quickly with the stuff you saved. That actually is a pretty good idea if I wanted to try this on hard mode, but I'll have a look. Have a look later. But let's see. Let's unlock some figure models for a closer look. Let's take a look at the Lords and Miranda, because I want to look at these character models in more detail. Yes. Including that absolutely horrifying baby as well. Chris, we all know what you look like. The Mega Mycete, I want to see that up close. Miranda. I have to say, I do very much appreciate that they give these character models because, like, for cosplayers, just having a 360 reference in high def is just a godsend. Okay, and those are for more of the weapons. Hang on. Okay, and concept art. let us go with more village-specific stuff. So, the Duke. Okay, honestly I can get pretty much most of this. Hang on. Because I want to look at and just marvel at all this amazing concept art. One. Okay. I will focus mostly on the lords. Let's have a closer look at Donna's dolls and that beautiful baby. And yes, let's unlock these for the picture book as well, because the picture book is so pretty. Any others that look especially amazing? The cave church, because that is my favorite cutscene. All of these are just incredible for all of the village stuff. But let's just... let's just go with what we have for now. We can have a closer look at... Give me a second. Okay, because I want to save some CP for when I do play this game again. So let's look at the figures we've unlocked first. Lady Dimitrisk. She is just a work of art, isn't she? And I'm so glad that oh, hang on. I'm so glad that we have these amazing 360 versions so that all the cosplayers who are very specific about getting all the details right can get them, because she is just Lord Heisenberg in chat. I know you have your own opinions about your dear sister, but to us, let us just admire her radiance and her beauty. Ah. Oh, and the beautiful Bella Dimitrisk. Oh, and it's animated. Oh, these are so cool. I want that dress. Look at the details. Just Heisenberg, you know you love the girls. Oh, I love them so much. And Cassandra. I believe Cassandra is the eldest. I could be wrong. Daniela was the youngest, and I think Bella was the middle child. Oh, Cassandra, you are just exquisite. And Daniela. Oh, and your capes are so magnificent, girls. All of you are just... mwah. Now, let's have a look at some of these details, because the character design in this game is just utter perfection. Just a perfect balance of body horror and monster. Just so cool. And in a way, it almost looks like, even though I think along the front, I can't show you my mouse, but along the front where the top of the upper jaw is on the lower half, I think that's supposed to be eyes, but it reminds me of more like screaming faces, like of all of the souls that she has devoured over the years. Oh, but look at the details! Oh, this is so cool. And all of those teeth. And look, those beautiful claws, perfect for cuddles. Oh, majestic. It was an honor to fight her. 1 second. Now, Donna, Beneviento, and Angie. Donna's model is fairly straightforward, but Angie, let's have a look at the details. Because she is so cool. Like, at first glance, because you do see her up close during Donna's segments, but she moves so quickly that you don't get the time to really appreciate the craftsmanship. Like, these metal details along her forearms and along her face as well. She reminds me a lot of the puppets in Prague, because Prague and the Czech Republic are quite well known for their beautiful hand-carved and wooden puppets. Like, oh, look at the girls, they're so cute. Now, I know you guys all wanted to see this thing up close, but oh dear God. Oh, that thing is grotesque, because you only see it in half light during that sequence. So you get to see this now in full 360, and oh, the spine and the shoulder blades. Oh, gross. Oh God, it's so gross. And the half open eye. Oh no. No. It's looking at you guys. Now, Moro. Oh, he very much reminds me of more along the lines of The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Just so devoted to Miranda, to the point where it consumed him and he just wanted to make his mama happy. No matter what, and oh. I think he was one of the ones who was the most easily manipulated by her charisma. Oh, Moreau. Are you guys seeing this? The mother tattoo with the jellyfish on his arm? Oh. Moreau. Sorry, I just want to take a moment to just like look at this detail, because you don't see him with the cape off a lot. So I think that's an anchor on his forearm, and then that's Mother with the jellyfish on his upper arm. Oh. And then it's essentially leading into like the fish form later on. Oh, Moro. Zanchly Carmina, thank you so much for the 1 year now resub. Happy to have been here for 1 year already, and I'm excited to see what the future holds. Congrats on finishing this wonderful game and looking forward to what comes next. And thank you so much for your incredible support and for being a part of my archive of lovely lost tales. It really does mean a lot to me. Thank you. Okay, Mutated Moreau. Oh, the eyes. Look at them all. Oh, all of them twitching and moving, and Oh, that's so creepy, but it's so cool. And yes, just this diseased, grotesque mermaid, Moreau. Oh. It's so cool. There's something about the coloring for the tendrils that are coming out of his back that remind me of like intestinal worms. You know how some people and some animals can get like intestinal worms, and they're that kind of unsettling beigey flesh tone. It reminds me a lot of that. Again, playing into this kind of very cosmic horror like idea of like marine decay and rot. Oh, that is so cool. Now, the man himself, Heisenberg. I must say, that hammer is an especially wonderful work of art, and this 360 view is of great benefit to many cosplayers, who I'm sure appreciate it. All the loving details. Around the neck is a compass. I'm not quite sure what the metal disc is for, but I believe the hook is for use of weighing items. I could be wrong though. Oh. But, as I said in the heat of battle, none of the lords deserved this. Miranda was a manipulator and an abuser, and she was just so fixated on what she wanted that she was willing to hurt anyone and everyone that got in her way. And in the quest to fill this hole in her heart left by her grief that she did not process in a healthy way whatsoever, she took 4 individuals and utterly, for lack of a better word, corrupted them with the Gadoo, as well as many of them mentally, and Heisenberg being the Heisenberg being the last, or most recent, I should say, to be converted. I say converted, but given the Gadoo virus and transmutated into this new form, because god damn does that look painful. Oh, thank you for the stretch check, Noah, and for the hydrate check, Daniel. Good idea, Jen. I will check if the cigar is Cuban. But let's just quickly, for a moment, take a look at this, because holy shit. That is some H.R. Geiger levels of body horror and, like, muscle and metal mutation. And you can see underneath. I can't zoom in any further, but I assume that's, like, intestinal tract or where the innards are supposed to be, because holy shit. God damn, yeah. That is so cool. It's the level of detail that goes into making this game, these models, this world that we all get to experience together, is absolutely incredible. Carl, you did not deserve this. Okay, let's have a look. Is the cigar Cuban? Or is this like, I'm trying to look at the end of the brand, but I can't get much further than that. I can see that the label itself is black with gold elements, and then I think the branding circle itself is silver, but I can't zoom in any further than that. Damn it. But Heisenberg makes me think he is a man of good taste, so I assume he only has the finest taste when it comes to cigars. Now, someone pointed this out the other day, which I found interesting. So, given that Heisenberg, many of them were children when they were given the Kadu virus and began their transformation and became one of Mother Miranda's lords in time. Alcina Dimitrisk was already fully grown when that happened to her. I believe Donna was maybe a teenager, I could be wrong, or a child, but it's confirmed that Karl Heisenberg was a child when he was given the Kadu virus and then like all the extra treatments that Miranda gave to him. So given the remoteness of the village and his connection to metal and electricity in a way, and to TVs, as shown in the game, I think this is a very, very interesting thing, and it's not put in any lore, so I think this is just a headcanon, but it does make sense. The reason that Karl Heisenberg speaks with a transatlantic accent, that kind of grandiose manner of speaking, that where it's not quite English and it's not quite American, it's somewhere in between. A lot of, when he was growing up, I believe he was, I could be wrong, I believe he was born in the 30s? So it was during that period of like classic black and white film where men did speak with the transatlantic accent. So he was raised on those particular movies, and so that's why he has that certain manner of speech, and why he doesn't have like, say, a German accent or a Swiss accent or something more Eurocentric, why he kind of speaks with that sense of bravado and grandiose, is because he was raised, or the only media that he could access, because the village was so heavily isolated, he was probably one of the only ones who could pick up TV signals to watch like broadcasts of movies. So it makes sense then that he speaks with that particular accent, because that was the only media that he could access that was outside of the village, and it would have been seen as like this amazing thing to him, like this taste of the outside world. I could be completely wrong with this, but it does make a lot of sense why he has that particular manner of speech and that sense of bravado. So it was just a fun little thing that was thrown around in conversation, but I was like, you know what, that makes a lot of sense, and I like that. I really like that idea. Oh, Sheb, that's incredible. I actually seen someone complete this game 100% perfect without getting hit or dying and finding everything on Village of Shadows difficulty. That is insane. Okay, the Mega Mycetes. Let's have a look at this. Nasty motherfucker. So you were the source of all this grief. Well, Mother Miranda is the one who made the poor choices, but this thing is like the source of these viral infections, and in many ways like the beginning of the Resident Evil franchise as a whole. This entity, essentially the embryo, as it were, that would eventually grow into this full fucking franchise. So I have a question. If you got all the cats in the world to meow at the same time, how loud would it be? Catastrophically loud. God damn it. Oh, Heisenberg, the Kadu made for a hell of a 5th birthday present. Oh no! I think given the look of the Mega Mycete, I think this might have been a mutation that was maybe formed naturally, like beneath the earth. Like this thing was just in the ground and then it was discovered by Miranda. Now, speaking of Miranda, let us look upon this false seraph, shall we? Because my god, her character design I absolutely adore. From the roses in her makeshift halo, to the ever-watchful eyes, to this mask, which for me is very reminiscent of the mask worn in a movie called The Cell, which is amazing, by Tarsem Singh. I believe that's the name of the director. But you can see then in the I know there's a proper term for them, but the scarf vestments that she's wearing, you can see the embroidery of the symbols of the lords in there as well. Heisenberg being at the bottom. Sorry, dude. Then Moreau, then Benevento, and then Lady Dimitrescu at the top. And of course the Kadu at the center at her heart. Oh, but that is magnificent. And the wings! The details on the wings. How many wings does she actually have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, wait, 5. She's got 10 wings. More than I expected, but just as false. Those claws as well. Oh, so cool. And interesting, if you see at her throat, the necklace that she's wearing also has the 3 black roses, which is the same as the 3 black roses that Lady Dimitrescu wears, representing the 3 daughters, Bella, Cassandra, and Daniela. Death battle between Miranda and the Countess. Let's fucking go! And I know she too adorns herself with roses. But the Seraph of Stories wears them so much better, doesn't she? Oh, but that is so cool. Now, let's take a look at the undoing of this false seraph, shall we? Truly no longer a seraph and now a fully formed forest witch. Oh, that is so cool. Again, the character design in this game is just... it's just amazing. You can tell that this game was made with so much love and passion. Yes, Samuel, I believe in the lore, Mother Miranda bequeathed to Lady Dimitrescu these 3 girls that she then made into her daughters. So I'm assuming these were 3 village girls about roughly the same age that were then given the Kadu virus and then mutated into their insectoid forms, shall we say. Oh, Zanchlu, thank you so much for joining us tonight. You take care, okay? And have an awesome weekend. Oh, but this is so cool. The details on this. To the hands as well with these twisted bird-like talons. Just magnificent. Her flying form, I believe, is very much the same thing. Sorry. But the wings are much more outspread. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. And her spider form, which gave me a lot of grief. I think I was just so caught up in the moment. And it's so dark when you're in that area that I couldn't really track her properly. But I did pretty good. It only took me like 3 tries in order to bring her down. But oh, it's so cool. Just this game is just, and the aesthetic that I absolutely adore. And her berserk mode, which I believe that this is the thing that's like gathering above her, which you shoot. Oh, that's so gross. It's so cool, but so gross. And that brings us to the end of the figures. Let us have a look at the concept art, shall we? Oh yeah, Samuel, the eye is supposed to be a weak spot in the boss fight. It probably would have helped if I aimed for that. Oh, but let's have a look. Art director's comment. Designs for the merchant, the Duke. He was originally going to make his entrance with a runaway carriage and his horses running wild, but this was axed during development. Yeah, I think just his kind of more relaxed appearance, his introduction, is much better setting, because I think you're already so tense with emotion and from everything that happens at the beginning of the story. Then like just that added energy of a runaway carriage would have been maybe a bit too much. So yeah, I think just having the introduction as it was just perfect. But I really like the carriage. The parasite could do. These parasites are key to the story of the village and are used in the design for the village symbol, combined with 4 wings which represent the 4 lords. Absolutely. Oh, that is so cool. And I love this kind of like Enochian text imagery around it. It's so cool. The remains. Oh, these are all the remains that we picked up. Art director's comment. The remains left when enemies are defeated were designed to look like ornaments. When the creatures perish, their cells turn into crystal. Yes, we did see a little bit of that. Hang on. At the end of Zoe, with Zoe turning into this crystalline form. And as I said in a previous stream, it wouldn't surprise me if they were then testing out these graphics or what it would look like into when they were building Village, to see like if it would work. They like the look of it, and I'm so glad they went for this crystallized design. Oh my god, Sava Holder. On Rosemary's first mission, she meets the Duke, who then talks to her about Ethan and heroics not selling her guns. That would be amazing. I really would like to think that the Duke got out of the village radius in time, because I would love it if in the next game that you play, you get to see the Duke again, and he just greets Rosemary with this feeling of like, oh, I remember you. Yes, your father did a great service to us all when he sacrificed himself, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. But I would love it if the Duke had made it out and gets to show up in a future game. That would be so cool. Now, the crests of the 4 lords. Art director's comment. The crests of the 4 lords of the village. The Dimitrisk crest is a flower with 2 swords, a symbol of feminine power. You can also see a cross in the center, which is associated with vampires. Yes, indeed. The Beneviento crest is a moon and sun, symbols of fantasy and reality, as well as the dark of Donna and the bright white of Angie. Very, very true. Morose is a mermaid, although we wanted to create a very stark difference between the beautiful fish lady and the creepy fishman creature. Heisenberg's crest is a horse and horseshoe, implying he is a strong, sturdy man. The horse was also based on the chess piece. Initial designs had each crest with their own book. Interesting. Lord Heisenberg, are you a sturdy individual? I mean, you're clearly a man of exquisite taste, considering that you're here with us tonight. Oh, that is so cool. I would like maybe in the concept art, I couldn't see this being a thing that they unlocked, but maybe it's like reserved for a future release for an art book or something. But I would like to see the concepts for like what before they settled on these particular designs, because yes, these designs make perfect sense to for the 4 lords. But I'm curious to see if they went through other. Samuel, I see you. I see you. God damn it, I see you. But I would like to see what other variations they had for like the different designs for the crests of the 4 lords as well. Now the lichens. This is a basic design for the lichens. The concept behind them was primitive zombies, which were used to create a wild wolfman looking creature. Absolutely, these are so cool. Heisenberg, that is a very good point. The Duke's wagon was gone when Chris and Ethan walked by during the ending. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, the moment that Ethan walks past the Duke just closes up shop and hits the road as fast as he fucking can. Lichen variations. We had a number of designs for the lichens, but the most variety than any enemy in the series so far. Absolutely. There's just unlimited possibilities of what you can do with the lichens. And the apologies if I mispronounce this. The Varkalak. A ferocious creature derived from a lichen. You can no longer see where its human hair ends and its animal fur begins. The fur on its human body has also turned white. White like the crystals, maybe? Oh, but that's so cool. I love me a good monster. And this puppy, if he wasn't so aggressive, I could imagine this being a wonderful guard dog, just all curled up by the fire, resting his absolutely monstrous head on your lap and just wanting some scritches. Oh, I miss the village already. Oops. The Urias. Urias is the Lycan's boss. He used to be the leader of the village. Now he's just a shadow of his former self. Oops. Sorry. Urias, Strela is his older brother. Okay. Have to keep an eye out for that. Oh, it's so cool. The Lycans are my absolute favorite enemies in the series and many others. Oh, absolutely. They're so cool. Alcina Dimitrisk. Similar to the villagers, her hair and clothes were based on 1960s New Look fashion. Her design is based on a Japanese yokai, apologies if I mispronounce this, Hashaku-sama. Literally 8-foot lady. Oh, it's a specific yokai, maybe. Oh, that's cool. Dimitrescu was also designed to be a vampire. She has 3 black roses on her heart, which each represents the 3 daughters. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, just mwah, gorgeous. Alcina Dimitrisk. And then she added a 1.5 for good measure. Oh. God, I love you. Dimitresk's daughters. From left to right, Bella, Cassandra, and Daniela, they each have a flower tattoo on their foreheads. Oh, the girls. I felt so guilty when I had to stop them, when I had to bring them down, but you're so beautiful, girls. You didn't deserve to die like that. The Morasia? That might be wrong. Morasia? The female enemies of the castle dungeons. Dimitrescu drains men of their blood and turns women into creatures to be her slaves. Oh, you poor ladies. In fact, it might be hard to see in game, but all the enemies in the castle are female slaves. Oh, interesting. Because just given the depiction and the fact that they're always like shrouded in rags, I couldn't tell what gender they were, but interesting that all of the monsters that you encounter, even the Morasia, are all female. Interesting. Daniela's gay haircut confirms. You know what, that I do appreciate a good undercut like that. Okay, the mutated Dimitrescu. Dracula, a motif for Dimitrescu, also means child of dragon, so we went with the dragon vampire design. We used her key colors of white, red, and black combined with key elements found in traditional Resident Evil monster designs. Her scales are actually her cells clumping together. Each of the boss transformations is a larger version of themselves, which for Alcina meant an unusually massive vampire with gigantic fangs. Oh, magnificent. Just look at her. Oh, so cool. So cool. And as a lover of Dracula lore and Dracula as a story, just... Can you tell I love this game? Just a hunch. Okay, mutated Dimitrescu in detail. We also designed the way her human body is stored in her back. Also, Dimitrescu's enlarged cells grow hair-like tendrils thanks to the parasite's influence. Yes, so you can see in the 4 images on the right how the body emerges from this opening on the back, and then the lower body with all the teeth and the maws and the tongue, just perfection. I love this game. And yet, if this game has proven anything, it's that even knowing that the true details of Castle Dimitrisk, large groups of men will still march in willingly. Yeah, of course they would. Now, Donna, Beneviento, and Angie. The puppeteer Donna and her doll Angie. Donna is dressed in black mourning clothes, while Angie is dressed in a white wedding dress with flowers, each representing death and life. Angie's face is based on the same sun and moon motif as the Beneviento crest. Why did I not notice that? I feel like an idiot. I thought that was just like metal plating on her face. But no, that makes so much more sense. Okay, Donna's face is also based on the same crest symbol with the scarred part of her face caused by the parasite. Her base concept is that she's a ghost. Yes, that makes so much more sense. Because yeah, just immediately looking at the concept art for the symbols of the Four Lords and the moon and sun, and you see it plainly on Angie's face, and then it also mirrors on Donna's face. God damn it, I love this game. Just seeing all these details back to back and then being like, oh shit, that makes sense. And just like the sun and moon imagery, the death and life, just... Sorry, I'm just like fangirling so hard over this game. I love it so much. And honestly, I'm really glad that you guys are continuing to stick around watching me just enjoy all of this, because I was worried I wouldn't have enough of the game to stream tonight, and I wanted to take my time to look at all this concept art and talk about this with you guys, because I love collecting art books for video games and movies that I like. So I just love exploring this and discussing this with you guys, and just... Oh, I love this game! Now, Donna's dolls. The Beneviento family dolls which Donna made. All of them are very creepy. And I noticed a few of them have the crest as well. Very cute. And yeah, Jen, the writer's room understood the assignment and then some. Absolutely. Oh, and the baby. Fuck. Okay. Art director's comment. Baby is a 2 to 3 minute old girl who's 5'10" tall and 7.7 feet long. She was created from the doll of Mia. Her umbilical cord drags behind her as she crawls, and she calls Ethan Dada. Oh, that's unsettling. She can open her left eye with effort and will put anything in her mouth. If she finds what she's looking for, she'll instantly eat it. She dribbles a lot and has no teeth, but her hands and feet look like a real baby's. Oh, God. Yeah, that explains like those little stumpy fingers just... Oh, that's creepy. Let's move on. Oh, Moreau. Art director's comment. Moreau made a crown for himself out of the bones of the villagers. He's also the most corroded by the parasite than any other lord. The concept behind his design is that he's half fish, half man, and we used a number of creepy sea creature parts while also conveying a very Resident Evil series style monster. But unlike most other transformed creatures in the series, he still understands and can speak human speech, a rare monster that can communicate. His brain is swollen into his back, which also has sprouted eyeballs. His design is also based on the Japanese river yokai Kappa. Oh, that makes a lot of sense, because I believe Kappas, they also have a similar kind of crown thing as well. But you can see in the one that's on the right-hand side, the way the Kadu is implanted in him, and then it's like fixed into his brain, or like the part of his brain that's at the lower base of his skull. Oh my god, this game, and like the X-ray that they give us, because you know, a very dedicated cosplayer is gonna cosplay as Moreau with like all of the like cloak and stuff removed, and they need that X-ray reference so they can get the padding right and figure out where they're gonna be like positioned inside the suit. Like, it would be a labor of love, but I would just love to see a cosplayer try and do this. That would be so cool. And thank you for the stretch check, Daniel. Oh. Much appreciated. Oops. Mutated Moro. Moro's mutated form looks a lot more like an aquatic creature. As each of the boss fights are giant versions of themselves, Moro is a massive mer creature covered in frog spawn looking eyes. Yes. He uses his large arms and legs as well as his giant fish-like body to swim. That was a great level. I really enjoyed Moro's fight, because I think I could speak for most people in chat, but water levels tend to suck. But that was so much fun. And yeah, Talon, I have so much sympathy for Moreau, because he was a simpleton. He just wanted Mother to acknowledge him and love him and recognize him for his devotion. And in the end, he had to be stopped. And I wish that the Lords had a different ending. That they didn't have to meet the end at the hand of Ethan Winters, but... all good stories need villains, right? Mutated Moro in detail. This piece was used to visualize Moro's acid vomit attacks as well as his humanoid body inside the mouth of his monstrous body. Oops. We tried to convey his creepy aquatic nature in each movement and each attack. That's interesting. I love it when they kind of plot the stuff out and you can see it step by step. And yes, in the top right, you can see like the gullet swelling up like a frog. Oh, that's so cool. I wouldn't even call him a villain. He's a victim. Honestly, all of the Lords are victims of Mother Miranda's abuse and manipulation. None of them deserved what she did to them. Carl Heisenberg. Heisenberg's main concept is based on Frankenstein. We wanted to create a cool, grey-haired character who was a little rough around the edges. He smokes his favourite Cuban cigars. Confirmed! It's Cuban. He smokes Cuban cigars. Fanfiction writers are just like, write that down, write that down! Give me a second. Just let me appreciate this. I will say in Summer Holder that those eyes do look a little bit slitted, almost very animalistic. It wouldn't surprise me if maybe they had intended for Heisenberg's final form to be maybe wolf-based, because I believe he had a big part to play in terms of the controlling of the Lycans. Even though they were a part of the village as a whole, I think he himself had a bit more express control over them. So it wouldn't surprise me if then maybe in some early drafts of the story he had more wolf-like characteristics, hence the kind of more animalistic features and like the more disheveled, scruffy, ruggedly handsome features. If it makes you feel better, the crystals you kept are still technically us. Exactly, Heisenberg. I always wanted to keep a little piece of all the Four Lords close to my heart. I'm so attached to this game after all. Mutated Heisenberg. We went for a look that was the opposite of his human form, a giant mechanical monster. The design based on the idea that he used scrap left scattered around his factory. He owns weapons from tanks and planes and has mountains of scrap for his mass-produced experiments. Again, so freaking cool. I will say, I like, because in this character design, you can see the face that's kind of in the center of the body. I like that they integrated it more and they made the face bigger, as opposed to the face being quite cleanly made of metal. Because I think that would have been a little bit too mundane for Resident Evil. So I like in the final design that they had all this extra tearing to it, that you can see like the wires and stuff going into different parts of his face and like stretching his mouth and his teeth. That looks really cool. literally a full metal alchemist. God damn it. Samuel, Catboy Heisenberg confirmed that's why he wears a hat to hide his cat ears. Those are fighting words. Heisenberg, how do you feel about this? Wolf ears, not cat ears. God damn it. Chat, you're wonderful tonight. Mutated Heisenberg in detail. The original design was based on the splendid royal moth caterpillar. We wanted him to look like he moved on treads and be faster than any other boss monster. I could see that. I could definitely see that. The kind of more like arch, almost like serpentine form. Again, based a slightly bit more off of a caterpillar. Like, the fact that he's based off a moth caterpillar just makes him love him even more, because I love moths. I love moths so very much. Oh, but that's cool. And Miranda. Mother Miranda's design is based on the concept of a crow queen. She is a religious leader who is after Rose and has the ability to mimic anyone or anything. That's why she's based on a crow. Why did it take me so long to realize that? Because crows can mimic other sounds. God damn it! Why didn't I realize that? But that's the whole point of going through this, is once we finish the game, we're now like, this is the behind the scenes stuff. We're uncovering extra layers of this. This is so cool. The wings on her back are made from mold, so she has complete control over them. Her dress is old and worn, showing that she has ruled the village for a very long time. As the root of all evil in this game, you can see her likeness in the talisman used for village. You can also see the crest of the Four Lords in her stole, further evidence of her rule. Yes, yes, yes! But that makes so much more sense. Why she's based on a crow and she's able to, transform herself into other people. It's because crows mimic people, and they are kind of like parrots in that sense. God damn it, that's cool! I love this game. Mutated Miranda. The mold inside her body has overflowed and her mouth and skin are starting to crack. Her golden halos are now larger and more solid and is growing out of her spine. She has lived for a very long time and her age is finally showing. We didn't want the fight with Miranda to be like an event, but a challenging boss fight, so we went with a design where her human facade is still intact. Honestly, it's great because it still has so many human attributes to her. So, at least for me. So, as opposed to the other lords where they are heavily mutated, or you're fighting stuff that isn't human, or looks vaguely human but far more monstrous, the fact that when you get to that point in the game, and you're fighting Miranda, and she is spewing all this bullshit about Ethan's role as a parent, and how he should just let Rose go, and he will die here, and just like picking him apart, it feels much more personal when it's like a human fighting against a human. And yes, Miranda is like mutated and she's much more grotesque and witch-like, but it's so much more impactful, the fact that she still has so many human traits in her. Just, so cool. Heisenberg, I assumed Miranda had all the powers of us lords, which is why I was scared to fight her alone. Heisenberg, if I was a part of the village, I would have stood alongside you. It would have taken time and effort, but I would have tried my best to help. Mutated Miranda, flying form. God, that's cool. Miranda uses the network of mold to access the genetic makeup of various living creatures that are stored in the Megamycete. She uses them to transform during battle. Oh, that's cool. That's so cool. It's a combination between like feathers and like tree branches. Oh, that's so cool. And again, just the focus is still drawn on her body, so you're still able to find her in the fight, even though the setting itself is still very dark and shadowy. It's so cool. Mutated Miranda spider form. Miranda's giant spider-looking form. Essentially the same thing, but much more pointed and aggressive, much more tree-like. Okay, the picture book. Now, I had a thought the other day. And I'll talk about it when we get to it in the book. The concept of the picture book was based on pop-up books and shigiri, Japanese torn paper pictures. Oh, that's awesome. Oops. The key colors for Village are antique gold, metallic black, and snow white. All of these were used in the picture book. The concept art for the family in the picture book were, of course, based on Ethan, Mia, and Rose. The girl's hair color matches grown-up Rose's hair in the final version. Yes, absolutely. Oh, that's cool. Because you don't see the father until, like, right at the end, when you get the tail end of the story. Picture book 3. Concept art for the Bat Lord in the picture book. The white of its fur are based on Dimitrisk, and the 3 black bats are based on her daughters. Yes, absolutely. Oh, that's cool. It's so cool. The designs for the Fish King and Dark Weaver are based on Moreau and Beneviento, respectively. Oh, that's so cool. The Village Fish and the Village Grim Reaper. I find it a little curious that Donna's is more human-like than animal-like, but it makes sense when all of the other lords have much more monstrous appearances, whereas Donna's fight is much more psychological. So that makes a lot of sense. But I'm still curious if in early drafts she had her own animal corresponding to her, but then they decided to instead change it to something much more human-like. Oops. Concept art from the Iron Steed and Witch are, of course, based on Heisenberg and Miranda. Now, one thing I find interesting, and we could talk about this in behind-the-scenes stuff because we've completed the game, and now we know that Miranda was masquerading as Mia in the start of the story when she was reading the book to Rose. So I find it interesting that in this story that is established as being a local tale, as being established knowledge in the village and in the surrounding lands, that the Horse Lord, the Iron Steed, is the one who rallies the lords together and turns on the girl character. Which makes me think, like, this is intentional in a metagaming sense, but I'll get there. It's curious then, at the beginning, that Miranda, as Mia, setting up from the beginning to both Ethan and the player, that Heisenberg is duplicitous and is not to be trusted. And in the cutscene that we have in the church, where all of the lords are gathered together and Lady Dimitrisk and Heisenberg are debating back and forth on who should get Ethan to take care of, she says that his loyalty to Miranda is questionable. So it's already established, not fully established, but it's maybe talked about that Heisenberg isn't as loyal or devoted to Miranda as the other lords are. So the fact that Miranda sows these seeds of doubt in both the players and in Ethan's mind that the Iron Steed is the one to turn on the girl, to rally the lords, and that he is, also the Duke says this, that he is the most dangerous and is not to be trusted. And Heisenberg may have turned on Ethan if at a later date, if Ethan had agreed to use his daughter's power for getting rid of Miranda and teaming up with Heisenberg. I cannot say one way or the other whether or not he would have turned on Ethan because I'm not part of the creative team. But I just find it interesting that at the start of this story, in the opening prologue, as it were, we already have these seeds of doubt sowed for the Bat Lord, like cuts his own wing and feeds it to the girl, that the Fish Lord, the fish gives a scale for the girl to feed on, that the Weaver makes a dress for her, but when the girl takes the golden gear thinking it is a gift, the Iron Steed is the one who turns. Which I find very interesting. Just these, in a meta way, but just like these seeds of doubt already sowed about certain characters before you even encounter them. It was a thought I had the other day, which is why I was like, okay, we're going to go through, once I finish the game, concept art, and we're going to look at the figurine so I can talk about this. It might just be that I'm because I've been having these things pop up in my on social media. I'm just like, oh, that's an interesting thing to talk about. But I just found that very interesting, and I wanted to talk about it with you guys for a hot second. I sincerely apologize about that, everyone. I don't know what happened. But let us just get to the last of this concept art, and then we're going to be wrapping things up for the night. We were on to the storybook, and I was just wrapping up my thoughts about the Lords, but my apologies for that. Thank you so much for sticking around while I sorted that out, but don't worry, we're going to be wrapping things up soon. But yeah, that was just my thoughts on the interesting little seeds of distrust that have been sown earlier in this story at the beginning. But yes, welcome back. Picture book 6, concept art for when the girl and her mother go into the forest in the picture book. It's so cool. It's so pretty. Like, I love this game so much, and the storybook aspect, just the dark fairy tale, just very much appeals to me. Concept art for when the girl gets lost in the forest in the picture book. And yes, now that it's pointed out, like, the layers of the cut paper is so cool and so pretty, and with the backlight coming through and these layers of detail, just amazing. Concept art for when the father and mother go into the forest to save their daughter. Oh, Ethan. And yes, I agree, Hayden. I really hope that they release a hardback copy of the book. I imagine, because we haven't had any huge drops in terms of like limited edition merchandise for Resident Evil Village, in terms of like minis and like exclusive, like pricey bits of merchandise. I imagine that's another thing that they're working on, as well as the DLC, because this game has been incredibly well acclaimed and is adored by fans. Like, I love this game so much. So I would absolutely spend good money to get a beautiful hardback copy of the Village of Shadows fairy tale book. In just I would love that. I would love that so much. Please, Capcom, make this thing. Concept art for the father fighting the witch and the mother escaping with their daughter. Oh, and that's the end of Ethan. The concept art for Ethan's trial. Miranda and the Lords began to use the space for trials in the past to pass judgment on heretics. From left to right, Dimitrisk, Donna, Miranda, Moreau, and Heisenberg. Their positions and mannerisms reflect their status and personalities. Very interesting, and you see the lichens around you. I am glad they got rid of the podium that's in front of Miranda, because while it does add to that sense of grandeur and power that she holds, I'm glad that it just has her like standing there instead. And yeah, it is interesting then in the positioning of the room with Heisenberg and Lady Dimitrescu opposite each other, because they're the most argumentative and combative. And then you have Moreau, who's right at Miranda's side, and then Donna, who in the lore was essentially like an adopted daughter to Miranda, and it makes sense then Donna being seated by Miranda's side as well. The lichens, I think, were just more like placements to figure out how the positioning and the composition of the shot would work. Yes, I just love all of this shit. Okay, and that brings us to the end of these little pieces of lore that we have. There's so much to be uncovered in this game, and fan art to be purchased, and challenges to do. Like, in case it wasn't already obvious, I absolutely adore this game in innumerable ways. This has essentially become like my new favorite game, and I really look forward to doing future playthroughs. Like, I would love to revisit this game at some point. Definitely when the DLC comes out, I would love to play that with you guys. But who knows? I might be up for a challenge or two with this game. Because I had so much fun streaming it, and I really hope that you guys had a ton of fun viewing it. And even though we've now experienced the full story so far, would you guys be interested if perchance I played this again on a much more challenging difficulty? In some time, of course, like not right away. I would want to give a bit of breathing space for a bit. But I had so much fun with this game, and I really hope that you all did as well. Heisenberg, well, I look forward to seeing you around the village. Well, it's always nice to know that I am a welcomed individual in the village. I look forward to when I can return again. Telling my eldest just said try speedrunning it. The thing is with speedrunning, because I was considering trying to do a speedrun, but with a speedrun, I'd be so focused on the game and trying to beat it in the quickest time possible, I wouldn't be looking at chat and I wouldn't be engaging with you guys whenever you did like stretch checks and hydrate checks and bit drops, because I'd just be so focused on trying to get through the game as quickly as possible, which while can be a lot of fun for some people, for me, I like the back and forth that we have between chat and myself as your lovely host. But yes, we will see how it goes, but I have to say, I am very appreciative of the incredibly kind and warm welcome to me, the Reverend. This is my debut in many ways. I haven't been able to go out and about in quite some time. Feel so constricted, but I absolutely adored this game. So, of course, I had to reach out and I already have so many mementos from this game scattered around my domain, but since Rose was no longer using this, I just had to reach out and take one for myself. Oh, Heisenberg, do you now? Do you have an open position for a Reverend in the village? Well, I can't exactly promise Mother Miranda that I will be a loyal follower, but I will certainly endeavour to keep my eyes open in the inner workings of the village, keep business flowing with the Duke, and look forward to see what comes next. Oh, but we come to the end of the evening, and I'm curious to see what the future holds for us. You've all been so kind to me, and it's been wonderful to grace you all with my presence. But unfortunately, I think this is the time that we bid farewell for now. Oh, the Seraph of Stories gets so irritated when I come out to play. She's not exactly a fan of mine. But Xenoc, thank you so much for the 10-month resub. Thank you so much for your incredible support. It's very much appreciated. You're amazing. Thank you. Samuel. Oh, I'm always appreciative of some helping hands to make myself feel more acquainted, but I think Seraph of Stories is getting a little bit irritated with me. I've overstayed my welcome a bit. So I think we should draw tonight to a close, shall we? But thank you all so very much for joining me tonight in this, the finale for now, of Resident Evil Village. If you've been lurking in the shadows and you like what you've seen so far, please consider hitting that follow button. We would love to have you back at the Blue Rose Respite. You're welcome anytime. And be sure to check out my other socials in the chat at the moment. My Twitter for important updates, my YouTube for ASMR tales, and my Instagram for other important updates and lovely pictures. But, you know, it's occurred to me that I haven't given you my full name yet. Of course, I've asked you all to call me the Reverend, but since there might be the chance of me appearing at a later date when another game befits my attention, I suppose I should tell you my name. What do you think? It might be a while since I can make an appearance again, after all. So, thank you all so very much for joining me this evening. I hope you've all had so much fun with Resident Evil Village. I most certainly have. But I must bid you farewell for now. Until next we meet, I have been your host, the Reverend of Requiems. Thank you all for such a warm welcome, and I hope to see you again someday. And until then, stay wicked and wonderful. Good night, my lovely lost tales.